Before you were born into this physical world, your soul made a choice. It chose this life, this family, this time, this body, and every challenge and joy that would come with it. You didn't come here by accident or mistake. You came with purpose, with intention. And every moment of your life has been unfolding in divine order, whether you've been aware of it or not. You are not just a human being scrambling through life, reacting to circumstances and chasing goals. You are a spiritual being, eternal, infinite, experiencing a temporary journey in a physical form. And yet most of us live as though we're asleep, lost in routines, fears, and distractions, forgetting the vastness of who we truly are. To live fully awake means to remember. Remember that you are not your name, your possessions, your job title, or even your body. You are the silent observer behind it all. You are the soul that chose to be here in this moment, to learn, to grow, to love, and to contribute. Many of us ask, why is this happening to me? But the question from a higher place is, why is this happening for me? What is this moment trying to awaken within me? When you begin to see life this way, every event, even the painful ones, become opportunities to remember your true nature and to live from that higher awareness. When you are awake, you don't need to control everything. You can trust that you are being guided. Trust that the universe or divine intelligence or source, whatever you call it, is not outside of you. It lives in you. It is you. And it whispers constantly through your intuition, through synchronicities, through the quiet nudges of your heart. Living fully awake doesn't mean you escape the world. It means you are present in it, but not enslaved by it. You notice the beauty in a sunrise, the miracle in your breath, the love in a simple touch. You let go of the need to prove, to compete, to strive endlessly for what you think will complete you. You realize you are already complete. Your task is not to become someone else, but to remember who you already are. Your soul didn't come here to play small, to be ruled by fear, or to drift in unconsciousness. It came to shine, to express, to awaken not just yourself, but to help awaken others through your example. So today, ask yourself, am I living fully awake? Am I honoring the life my soul chose with gratitude, presence, and love? Or am I waiting for the perfect time, the perfect conditions, the perfect version of myself? The truth is, there is no later, there is only now, and this now is your invitation to wake up, to live with passion, with purpose, and with peace. To live as the soul that chose this life, to live fully awake. Before you entered this physical world, before your first breath, your soul made a choice. It chose this life, this body, this family, this time in history. It chose the circumstances you would be born into, the people you would meet, the experiences you would have, both joyful and challenging. This was not a random occurrence, nor the result of chance. It was a purposeful, intentional decision made by your soul from a place of infinite wisdom and love. Everything about your life was chosen as a path for your highest growth, for the evolution of your consciousness, and for the expression of your true self in physical form. You may not remember choosing this life, and that is part of the design. The forgetting is essential so that you can rediscover your spiritual nature through experience, through contrast, through awakening. The soul does not evolve through comfort and ease alone. It evolves through challenge, through choice, through the process of remembering what it already knows deep within. Your struggles, your pain, your victories, your longings, all of it is part of this greater plan, one that your soul embraced fully before arriving here. You were not sent here to suffer meaninglessly or to be a victim of circumstances beyond your control. You were sent here to grow, to love, to awaken, and to serve in a way that only you can. Your life has meaning not because of what you accomplish, but because of who you are and the unique energy you bring into this world. The soul understands that the purpose of life is not simply to survive or achieve, but to experience, to express, and to expand in alignment with the divine source that created you. Your soul knew that this life would come with trials. It knew there would be moments of doubt, fear. It also knew that within every difficulty there would be an opportunity, a doorway into deeper understanding, compassion, and inner. The people who challenge you, the situations that frustrate you, and even the parts of yourself that you struggle to accept are all part of the curriculum your soul chose. These are not obstacles to your growth, they are your growth. When you begin to see life through this lens, everything changes. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin to ask, what is this trying to teach me? You start to understand that your soul is always calling you back to your true nature, back to love, back to presence, back to peace. The very situations you resist are the ones your soul chose to help you awaken. They are here to remind you of your power, your resilience, and your connection to something greater. Living with this awareness allows you to embrace your life fully, even the messy and painful parts. You no longer need to compare your path to others or wish for a different life. Your journey is sacred because it is yours. Your soul chose it with purpose, and that purpose is unfolding in every breath, every encounter, every choice you make. When you trust in this deeper truth, you begin to live with intention, with courage, and with grace. You stop waiting for life to change, and instead you change your relationship with life. You awaken to the truth that everything you need is already within you, and that your soul's path is always guiding you, gently, wisely, and with infinite love. You are not merely flesh and bone, not limited to a name, a role, or a physical form. You are far more than your appearance, your achievements, or the circumstances of your life. At your essence, you are a spiritual being, a divine presence, eternal and infinite, temporarily experiencing life in a human body. This physical world, with all its challenges, beauty, and unpredictability, is the arena in which your soul chose to express itself, to grow, and to remember its true nature. When you were born, you entered into a world governed by time, by form, by separation. But your soul, the real you, comes from a place beyond time and space, where unity, love, and peace are not goals, but your natural state. In choosing to have a human experience, your soul stepped into a temporary forgetting, so that it could experience the thrill of rediscovery, the contrast between illusion and truth, between fear and love, between ego and spirit. As a human being, you encounter limit. You feel hunger, pain, desire, loss. You experience joy, connection, wonder, and awe. These experiences are not random. They are the tools your soul uses to explore the richness of existence in form. Every moment, whether easy or difficult, holds within it an invitation, a chance to go deeper, to awaken, to return to the awareness of your spiritual essence. The physical world often seduces you into believing that you are only what you can see or touch. You are taught to define yourself by external markers, your job, your status, your possessions, your appearance. Yet, these things are transient. They change, fade, and eventually fall away. What remains constant is the silent awareness within you, the part that observes your thoughts, that feels your emotions, but is not defined by them. That presence, that awareness, is your spirit. Being a spiritual being doesn't mean rejecting your humanity. It means embracing it fully, but with the understanding that you are not only human. You are here to experience life through the senses, to love deeply, to face fear, to create, to heal, and to remember that beneath all the roles you play, there is a formless presence, unchanging and eternal. That is who you truly are. When you live from this awareness, life shifts. You stop trying to control everything. You begin to trust the flow of life, knowing that a deeper intelligence is always guiding you. You stop clinging to things and people to define your worth, because you know your worth is inherent. You begin to see others not as separate, but as reflections of the same spirit that lives in you. Compassion arises naturally, as does patience, forgiveness. The mind may resist this truth. It may insist that you are your thoughts, your past, your fears. But these are only temporary experiences within the larger context of your spiritual journey. The mind speaks in fear and limitation. The spirit speaks in love. unity, and infinite possibility. Tuning into that inner voice, the quiet, steady presence of your soul, is the key to living a life of meaning and fulfillment. You are not sent here to strive endlessly, to suffer, or to seek validation from the outside world. You are sent here to remember to awaken to the divinity within you and to live from that place. You are spirit having chosen to dwell in a body for a while, to learn, to grow, to give, and to love. Your human experience is sacred because it is the vehicle through which your spirit shines. When you live with this awareness, every moment becomes a gift, every breath a miracle, and every day a step in the journey back to the truth of who you really are. Awakening is not about acquiring something new or becoming someone different. It is about remembering who you already are beneath all the layers of conditioning, fear, and illusion. At your core, you are not your thoughts, your emotions, or the stories you have been told about yourself. You are something much deeper, something timeless and unchanging. Awakening is the process of peeling away the false identities and rediscovering your true nature, a spiritual being of love, peace, and infinite awareness. From the moment you were born, the world began to shape you. You were given a name, a gender, a nation. You were taught beliefs, rules, and expectations. Over time, these became the lens through which you viewed yourself and others. You began to identify with your roles as a child, a student, a parent, a worker, and with your achievements and failure. This identification with form and thought created a false sense of self, often referred to as the ego. The ego thrives on separation, comparison, and fear, always seeking validation and control. It tells you that you are incomplete, that you must strive, compete, and accumulate in order to matter. But this is not your true nature. Deep within you, there is a quiet presence that is always watching, always aware. This presence is not touched by fear or doubt. It is the part of you that knows peace, even in the midst of chaos. It is the same consciousness that has been with you since you were a child, the same presence that watches your life unfold moment by moment. Awakening is the recognition of this presence as your true self. This realization does not happen through force or effort. It arises in moments of stillness, in silence, in the space between thoughts. It may come when you are deeply present, watching a sunset, listening to music, or simply breathing consciously. In these moments, the mind becomes quiet and you glimpse the vastness of your being. You realize that you are not separate from life, but one with it. This oneness is not something to be attained. It is already your essence. Awakening simply brings it into your awareness. As you awaken, your relationship with life changes. You begin to let go of the need to control outcomes or manipulate others. You see that everything is unfolding as it should, guided by a higher intelligence. You trust more and fear less. You forgive more easily, knowing that holding on to resentment only clouds your true nature. Compassion arises naturally because you recognize the same divine essence in everyone you meet. Awakening is not about escaping the world or becoming detached from life. It is about engaging with life fully, but from a place of deep presence and authenticity. You still play your roles, still fulfill your responsibilities, but you do so with awareness, not attachment. The external world no longer defines you. Instead, you bring your inner light into every situation, transforming it with love and understanding. Remembering your true nature brings freedom from fear, from self-doubt, from the endless striving for approval. You realize that you are already whole, already worthy, and that nothing outside of you can add to or take away from your essence. This freedom allows you to live with joy, to express your unique gifts, and to contribute to the world in meaningful ways. Awakening is a return to the truth, to the simplicity of being. It is not a destination, but an ongoing, unfolding, a continuous remembrance. Every moment offers the opportunity to wake up, to step out of the illusion of separateness, and to live from the deep knowing that you are and have always been one with the infinite. Life is constantly offering you invitations to awaken. Every experience, whether joyful or painful, ordinary or extraordinary, holds within it the potential to bring you closer to your true self. Nothing is wasted on your spiritual journey, and nothing happens by accident. The people you meet, the challenges you face, the moments that take your breath away, and the ones that break your heart, all are part of the intricate design of your soul's awakening. Your task is not to resist these experiences or judge them, but to embrace them with awareness and to ask, what is this teaching me? How can I grow through this? Often we think of awakening as a single dramatic moment, a sudden revelation, or a life-altering event. But in truth, awakening is a gradual, continuous process that unfolds in the present moment. It is not reserved for monks on mountaintops or mystics in faraway lands. It is available to you right here, right now, in the midst of your daily life. Every interaction, every challenge, every success, and every setback is an opportunity to remember who you really are. Painful experiences, especially, can become powerful catalysts for awakening. When things fall apart, when relationships end, when dreams crumble, when illness strikes, it can feel as though life is against you. But these moments of suffering often strip away what is false, what is temporary, and force you to look within. In that space of vulnerability and surrender, you often find a depth of strength and clarity you didn't know you had. You realize that your peace does not depend on external circumstances, but is rooted in something eternal within you. The pain becomes a doorway through which you step into greater awareness. Joyful moments, too, offer openings for awakening. When you feel love, gratitude, or awe, your heart expands. In those moments, you are not thinking or analyzing, you are simply being fully present and alive. That presence is the essence of awakening. These moments remind you that you are more than your worries and your plans. They connect you to the sacredness of life, to the wonder that is always available when you are truly here. Even the mundane holds potential for awakening. Washing dishes, walking outside, listening to someone speak, these can all be sacred acts when done with awareness. When you bring your full attention to the present moment, you step out of the mind's chatter and into the realm of being. You begin to notice the beauty and simplicity, the stillness beneath the surface of activity. Life becomes richer, deeper, more vibrant, not because it has changed, but because you have changed the way you see it. Every experience is an opportunity to let go of judgment, fear, and attachment. It is a chance to respond rather than react, to choose love instead of fear, to trust instead of control. These small choices, made again and again, shape your inner landscape. They move you closer to the truth of who you are and allow you to live from a place of peace and authenticity. When you approach life with this perspective, nothing is wasted. Mistakes become lessons. Conflicts become mirrors. Success becomes an opportunity to express gratitude and humility. Life becomes your teacher, and every moment becomes sacred. Awakening is not about escaping the world, but engaging with it fully, with open eyes and an open heart. You begin to see that life is not happening to you but for you. Everything that comes your way is part of a divine orchestration meant to help you grow, expand. When you accept this truth, you no longer fear the unknown or resist change. Instead, you welcome each experience as a chance to deepen your awareness and to live more fully in alignment with your soul. Within you there is a quiet voice, a presence that is always there, offering subtle guidance, gentle nudges, and inner knowing. This is the voice of your soul. It does not shout or demand attention like the world around you often does. Instead, it speaks in whispers, through intuition, feelings, and a deep sense of knowing that transcends logic or analysis. Trusting this inner guidance means turning inward, listening deeply, and allowing your soul to lead the way in a world that constantly pulls you outward. From a young age, most people are taught to rely on external sources for direction: parents, teachers, authorities, society. Over time, this can lead to doubt in your own inner wisdom. You may begin to question your instincts, override your feelings, and make decisions based on fear, approval, or expectation, rather than on truth. But no matter how much noise exists outside of you, the inner guidance of your soul never disappears. It waits patiently for you to return, to remember, and to trust that you already carry within you all that you need. This inner guidance shows up in many ways.
Sometimes it is a feeling in your body, a sensation that something is right or not quite right. Sometimes it is a quiet thought that seems to come out of nowhere, yet carries a weight of truth that cannot be ignored. Other times it reveals itself through synchronicities, dreams, or repeated signs from the universe. These are not coincidences, but gentle reminders that you are connected to a higher intelligence, and that this intelligence is always guiding you, even when you cannot see the whole path ahead. Trusting your soul's guidance means honoring these moments of intuition. It means being willing to pause, to listen, and to act, even when your mind is filled with doubt or when others do not understand your choices. The soul does not operate from fear or urgency. It operates from love, clarity, and patience. When you learn to trust it, you begin to make decisions not out of desperation or anxiety, but from a place of inner peace and alignment. There will be times when following your inner guidance feels uncertain, even risky. The path of the soul is rarely the easiest or most comfortable. It may lead you to let go of things that no longer serve you, to walk away from situations that feel familiar but stifling, or to take leaps into the unknown without guarantee. Yet every time you choose to follow your soul rather than the noise of the world, you strengthen your connection to your true self. You cultivate trust, not just in the guidance itself, but in your ability to live in alignment with it. Trusting your soul is an act of surrender. It is the recognition that there is a greater wisdom at work in your life, one that sees the bigger picture when you cannot. It is knowing that even when things don't unfold as you planned, they are unfolding as they should. When you let go of the need to control every outcome and instead allow your inner wisdom to guide you, life begins to flow with more ease and grace. You stop fighting against the current and start moving with it. Distrust does not mean you will never face challenges, or it means that you will navigate them with a sense of inner stability, knowing that you are not alone, and that your soul is always lighting the way. As you deepen this trust, you begin to live more authentically, more courageously, and you realize that your greatest teacher, guide, and source of truth has always been within you. The more you honor it, the more your life becomes a reflection of your soul's wisdom, love, and divine purpose. The present moment is all there ever truly is. The past exists only in your memory, and the future is merely a projection of your thoughts. Yet most people spend their lives lost in either regret over what has already happened or anxiety about what might come. In doing so, they miss the only place where life is actually lived, right here, right now. To live fully in the present moment is to step into the reality of life as it unfolds, to become awake to what is, rather than distracted by what was or what could be. When you live in the present, you experience life directly, without filters of judgment, expectation, or fear. You begin to notice the beauty that surrounds you, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of laughter, the rhythm of your breath. These are not small things, they are the very fabric of life. Being present allows you to fully engage with each moment, to experience it with depth, clarity, and openness. You become aware not just of the outer world, but also of your inner world, your thoughts, your emotions, your sensations, and you start to observe them without being overwhelmed by them. The mind often resists the present moment. It wants to analyze, plan, compare, and control. It tells you that happiness lies somewhere in the future, when certain conditions are met, when you achieve the goal, find the relationship, or fix the problem. But this chase is endless. The truth is, everything you seek, peace, love, joy, fulfillment, can only be found now, in the present. The more you anchor yourself in the now, the more you discover that it is already enough, that you are already enough. Living fully in the present moment also brings a sense of freedom. You are no longer trapped by the weight of the past or the fear of the future. You stop carrying stories about who you think you are or who others believe you should be. Instead, you allow yourself to simply be. In this state of presence, you can respond to life with awareness rather than react from habit or condition. You gain the space to choose your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. This space is where true empowerment lives. Presence also deepens your relationships. When you are truly with someone, listening, seeing, feeling them without distraction, you connect in a way that transcends words. You offer them the gift of your full attention, and in return, you feel more connected, more compassionate, more alive. Presence creates intimacy, not only with others, but with yourself. You begin to understand your own needs, desires, and values more clearly. You stop running from discomfort and instead face it with openness, knowing that every emotion, even the difficult ones, is part of your human experience. To live in the present moment is not to abandon your responsibilities or ignore the future. It is to approach each task, each decision, with full awareness and presence. Whether you are washing dishes, walking in nature, or working on a project, you bring your whole self to the activity. You engage with life as it is, not as you wish it to be. This presence infuses even the simplest actions with a sense of peace and purpose. The more you practice presence, the more you experience life as a flow rather than a struggle. You begin to trust that each moment holds exactly what you need and that you are supported by something greater than your thoughts. In this state, life becomes a continuous unfolding, not of doing more but of being more aware, more connected, The present moment is where your power lies, where your soul speaks, and where the fullness of life can be felt.